guys, it's Tashay Leniece and I am back with another video. This video is picking out my December TBR. I really like picking out my TBR last month from the jar, so I'm gonna do it again. There is one book that I have to read because I am reading it with somebody else. Last month I was reading a book with somebody else. It didn't really work out. I was reading it, but I just wasn't in a self-help mood, which was the 5 a.m. club. So at the end of this video, or towards the end of this video, I'll show you the book that I am reading with somebody else. And yes, so let's just hop straight into it. And if you guys want to see what my December TBR is, then keep on watching. I've had this in this jar sometime in November, but we're just picking randomly. I don't know how many books am I gonna pick. I'm gonna try to do 5. I'm only 1 book away from my goal, so that's gonna happen. But I'm gonna do 5. I want to read at least 5 books this December. I get a little longer break, so let's try it. The first book is, I'm gonna do 6. I'm gonna pick 5, and then my 6 is gonna be that book. The first book is Carrie Saturo is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which works out perfectly because I actually just started reading that like 10 minutes ago. It is December 3rd, so that's cool. Next, I actually put more space in there this time, or I used smaller. I did something different. Not my battery low. Drop one. Next book, Dream On by Angie Hockman. That works because it's almost due for the library. I think I done renewed it twice already, so that works. I've been hearing mixed reviews about that lately, though. Next, the nails. Number 3, The Wife Between Us by Greer, Hendricks, and somebody. I'll have all of these. Actually, I'm gonna get these books in a second. I'm just gonna pick them and then I'll read what they're about. This is the 4th book, and the 4th book is, can't do that because I have to return it to the library, but it was The Boyfriend Project by Farah. If I renew it, maybe. So I'm going to pick again. The X Talk by Rachel. I wrote this so crazy. By Rachel. Where is the X Talk? I'll show you guys the cover. That's the 4th book. And then the last book. My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. Those are my 5 books. Let's talk about what they're about before my camera dies. First is Carrie Sato is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Carrie Sato is fierce, and her determination to win at any cost has not made her popular. But by the time she retires from tennis, she is the best player the world has ever seen. She has shattered every record and claimed 20 Grand Slam titles. And if you ask Carrie, she's entitled to everyone. She sacrificed nearly everything to become the best with her father, Javier, as her coach. A former champion himself, Javier has trained her since the age of 2. But 6 years after her retirement, Carrie finds herself sitting in the stands of the 1994 U.S. Open, watching her record be taken from her by a brutal, stunning player named Nikki Chan. At 37 years old, Carrie makes the monumental decision to come out of retirement and be coached by her father for one last year in an attempt to reclaim her record. Even if the sports media says that they never liked the battle axe anyway. Even if her body doesn't move as fast as it used to, and even if it means swallowing her pride to train with a man she once almost opened her heart to, Bob Huntley. Like her, he has something to prove before he gives up the game forever. In spite of it all, Carrie Sato is back for one epic final season. In this reviving and unforgettable novel, Taylor Jenkins Reid tells her most vulnerable, emotional story yet. It's giving very much Creed vibes, but for tennis. So Creed vibes, but Vanessa Williams type. You know. That's book number 1. Book number 2 was Dream On by Angie and Hockman. When law grad Case Walker wakes up after surviving a car accident, she is flooded with memories of a man named Devin. The only problem? Devin, as confirmed by family, friends, and doctors, doesn't exist. Everything about him, from his coffee brown eyes to the slightly crooked angle of his pinky to his high wattage charm, is a figment of Cass' coma-addled imagination. Still, she can't get him out of her head. So when she happens upon the real Devin, a year later, in a Cleveland flower shop, she's completely shocked. Even more surprising is that Devin actually believes her story, and despite his protective older brother doubts, they soon embark on a real-life romance. With her dream man by her side and a new job at a prestigious law firm, Cass' future seems perfect, but fate might have other plans. From the beloved authorship, Dream On is a magical and witty romantic comedy that explores what happens when our dreams come true, even when they're not the ones we expect. I've heard mixed reviews on this, so hopefully it's good. I think I picked it up just based off one review. The next book was The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Oh, she has my name. Shay Goldstein has been a producer at her Seattle public radio station for nearly a decade, and she can't imagine working anywhere else. But lately it's been a constant clash between her and her newest colleague, Dominic Young, who's fresh off a journalism master's program and convinced he knows everything about public radio. When the struggling station needs a new concept, Shay proposes a show that her boss greenlights with excitement. On the X Talk, 2 exes will deliver relationship advice live on air. Their boss decides Shay and Dominic are the perfect co-hosts, given how much they already despise each other. Neither loves the idea of lying to listeners, but it's this or unemployment. The audience gets invested fast, and it's not long before the X Talk becomes a must-listen in Seattle and climbs podcast charts. As the show gets bigger, so does their deception, especially when Shay and Dominic start to fall for each other. In an industry that values truth, getting caught can mean the end of more than just their careers. It sounds good. She has my name. I already voted a 5 out of 5. That's book number 3. Book number 4 was The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Peckin. Y'all, I don't know where it's telling what this book is about. Here it's talking about the authors. Here is giving like people's review of it and more. So it's a thriller. I guess when I finish reading it, I have to tell you guys, that's so weird. Oh no, I'm crazy. When you read this book, you will make many assumptions. You will assume you're reading about a jealous ex-wife. You will assume she's obsessed with her replacement, a beautiful younger woman who's about to marry the man they both love. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. Twisted and deliciously chilling, the wife between us deflately explores the hidden complexities of marriage and the dangerous truths we ignore in the name of love. Read between the lies. Thriller, I'm here for it, which is, I might as well get this out the way. This is the book I'm reading with somebody called The Sundown Motel. And it's crazy because I was watching book reviews and somebody recommended this. And the girl that I usually read books with, I was like, hey, we haven't read a book in like a year together. So I was like, let's read a book. And she was like, okay. Well, first I asked her, did she read thrillers? And then she said yes. And so I said, let's read a book. And she said, okay. So she said, what? I said, The Sundown Motel. She said, that's crazy. I'm actually reading that right now. So that's how we got that. So it's a thriller, and upstate New York, 1982, Viv Delaney wants to move to New York City, and to help pay for it, she takes a job as a night clerk at the Sundown Motel in Phil, New York. But something isn't right at the motel, something haunting and scary. Upstate New York, 2017. Carly Kirk has never been able to let go of the story of her Aunt Viv, who mysteriously disappeared from the Sundown before she was born. Carly decides to move to Phil and visit the motel, where she quickly learns that nothing has changed since 1982, and she soon finds herself ensnared in the same mysteries that claimed her aunt. So I have started reading it. I'm on page 43 out of like page 3... 26, and it is jumping back and forth between the aunt's point of view in 1982 and the niece's point of view in 2017. I do not read thrillers at night, so I will be picking this back up in the morning. And the last book on my TBR is My Killer Vacation, which is supposed to be a thriller as well. This seems like a short book, so hopefully I get through it quickly. It's under 300 pages, so yeah. And it was supposed to be a relaxing vacation. In sweet, sunny Cape Cod, just me and my beloved brother, but discovering a corpse in our rental house really throws a wrench into our tanning schedule. Now a rude, cruel bounty hunter has arrived on the back of his motorcycle to catch the killer and refuses to believe I can be helpful, despite countless hours of true crime podcast listening, not to mention a fulfilling teaching career of wrangling second graders. A brash bounty hunter and an energetic elementary school teacher, the murder-solving team no one asked for. But thanks to these pesky attempts on my life, we're stuck together come hell or high tide. I'm just here to do a job, not babysit an amateur sleuth, although it is becoming less and less of a hardship to have her around. Sure, she's stubborn, distracting, and can't stay out of harm's way. She's also brave and beautiful and reminds me of the home I left behind 3 years ago. In other words, the insatiable hunger and protectiveness she is waking up in me is a threat to my peace of mind. Before I sink any deeper into this dangerous attraction, I need to solve this murder and get back on the road. But will fate take her from me before I realize the road has been leading to her all along? It's cute. I heard Tessa Bailey is a good writer. I love this cover. I think I like cartoon covers. That is my ambitious December TBR. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the like button. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you plan on reading any of these books, and let me know what you're reading for the month of December down in the comment section. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.